Hello and welcome to everyone in the virtual classroom to learn the fund flow statement. In this third lecture of the fund flow statement, today we are going to start the practical question number 1. In first video lecture, we saw the working capital schedule and how to prepare it with basic concept of fund and fund flow statement. While in the second video lecture, we saw how to prepare the adjusted profit and loss account with a detailed explanation. We also saw the format of fund flow statement in the second video lecture. So now let us start the practical question in this third video lecture. See question number 1. It is there on the screen. Two balance sheets have been given. One for current year, that is 2018, and one for the last year, that is 2017. Let me draw your attention for these two balance sheets. See, after liabilities, the first column is 31st March 2018, that is the current year, for which we have to prepare the fund flow statement. And then afterwards 2017, that is the last year. So see the sequence of column. Normally we are habituated for the right sequence, that is 17 first and followed by 18. While over here it is a reverse sequence, 18 has been given first and then afterwards 17. So you have to be careful at the time of all the calculations, especially the preparation of the necessary ledger accounts, to report the opening as well as the closing balances of concerned ledger accounts. You have to be very careful about this reverse sequence of the column. Okay. Number of items have been given on the asset side as well as on the liability side. I am not reading those items. Question of fund flow statement always will get start with working capital schedule or statement. I already explained this working capital schedule with its relationship in the very first video lecture. So you know it very well how to prepare it. So I'm not going to give you a detailed explanation for this working capital schedule. Let me remind you the relationship of current assets with working capital. It's a positive relationship. A relationship of current liabilities with working capital, it's a negative relationship. So by applying this relationship, you have to prepare this working capital schedule very quickly. So apply it. See the items of current assets. First item, cash balance 1000 for last year, current year 2000, which indicates increases of rupees 1000 in the current year. CA with working capital, it's a positive relationship. So increases in current assets increases the working capital, and that is why we have reported it in that changes in working capital column under the title increases 1000. So by this way, just by applying the relationship one by one, you have to report all the items, all the components of the current assets. Then total of current assets, afterwards current liabilities, CL with working capital negative relationship. See the first item, creditors. Balance of last year 84,800 while balance of current year 78,400, which indicates a decrease of rupees 6,400 in the balance of creditors in the current year. It's a negative relationship with working capital. So decreases in creditors, that is decreases in current liabilities, increases the working capital. So we have reported 6,400 in increases column of working capital. So by this way, report one by one all the components of the current liabilities. Bad debt reserve, it can be shown by two ways. Either you can deduct it from the balances of debtors and only the net balances of debtors can be shown under the current assets, or else gross balance of debtors can be shown under the current assets and balance of bad debt reserve can be shown under the current liabilities like we have shown over here. Total of current liabilities. Now decide the working capital. CA minus CL. Total of A minus total of B. Total of current assets minus total of current liabilities. That gives the working capital. Last year 3,26,200, while in the current year 3,88,200. Compare these two balances and find out the ultimate answer, which shows increases in working capital in the current year 62,000. Likewise, the last two columns, changes in working capital, one is increases, another is decreases. Apparently, total of increases side looks more, which is 1,05,600. Put it on the decreases column and that gives a balancing figure of rupees 62,000. Means increases is more by 62,000 than decreases. So answer of 62,000 can be verified. Over here in this changes in working capital column also. Means whatever changes happened in the balances of current assets and current liabilities during the current year, and consequently what impact came on the working capital, that can be decided by preparing this working capital schedule. So in the current year, it indicates an increase of rupees 62,000. This 62,000 we have reported in 2017 column just to tally or confirm the total of 3,88,200, 3,88,200. While the last two columns increases 1,05,600, put it on the decreases column and then over their answer is 62,000, means increases was more by rupees 62,000 than decreases as far as the changes in working capital is concerned. So answer of this working capital schedule 62,000. Let us report it in the fund flow statement. The very first item of the fund flow statement that we are going to report is on the application side. Very first item, rupees 62,000. See over here, increases in working capital as an application of fund, rupees 62,000. So this was the working capital schedule and its final answer that we reported in the fund flow statement as an application of fund. After working capital schedule, now adjusted profit and loss account. Report the two balances of profit and loss appropriation account from the balance sheet, opening balance and closing balance. So balance of last year, 1,08,000 on the right hand side of this adjusted profit and loss account. Then the balance of current year, closing balance of profit and loss appropriation account, 44,000 on the left hand side or plus side. So by reporting these two balances of profit and loss appropriation account in this adjusted profit and loss account, just we have noted the current year's profit, 1,08,000 minus 64,000, 1,08,000 minus 44,000, not 64,000. So that gives the current year's profit, 1,08,000 minus 44,000, that is 64,000. So by this way, we have reported the profit of the year 64,000 by putting the two balances of profit and loss appropriation account. Once you report the two balances of profit and loss appropriation in this adjusted profit and loss account, now we have to report non-cash and non-operating items in this adjusted profit and loss account to decide operating cash or fund profit generated from business operation. Now let us verify the additional information one by one to start the process related with this adjusted profit and loss account, fund flow statement, unnecessary ledger accounts. See additional information. Point number 1. Shareholders are given right shares at a 10% premium. This is the point that we are going to consider now. Shareholders are given right shares at a 10% premium. Let us prepare a working note for this item. Last year in the corporate accounting, you already studied this type of transaction. See here, ratio of right issue has not been given. But there are no other transactions barring this one given for equity share capital account. So just by comparing two balances of equity share capital account, means the balancing figure, we can decide amount of right issue. So if we check the equity share capital account, let us verify the equity share capital account to verify the position of equity share capital account. See, this is the equity share capital. Opening balance 3,20,000. Closing balance 4 lakh. It means if we compare these two balances, we can arrive for a figure of rupees 80,000. It means right issue amount is 80,000, and this has been given with a 10% premium. So premium at the rate of 10% of rupees 80,000 would be rupees 8,000. So total amount due to this right issue would be rupees 88,000 received by the company. journal entry for this transaction. Bank account debited 88,000 to equity share capital account credited 80,000 to security premium account credited 8,000. Let us give the posting impact of this journal entry into concerned ledger accounts. Bank account debited 88,000 to equity share capital account credited 80,000 to security premium account credited 8,000. So this was the posting of the journal entry for the right issue. You can close this two ledger account related with right issue. Nothing is there as far as the balancing figure is concerned. It closed. Now fund flow statement impact. Title bank itself indicates that there was a receipt of fund due to this right issue. Rupees 88,000 has been received due to right issue. So fund flow statement, sources side, very first item, increases in equity share capital, right issue with premium 88,000. So this was the fund flow statement impact of this transaction in the fund flow statement. In your examination, you are not supposed to give the journal entry for the transaction, only working note. If it is a big one, then you are supposed to give a working note, but journal entries are not required to give in your examination. But for your understanding purpose, I am giving journal entries also because it is the very first question only. Let us verify the second point, additional information point of the question. Point number 2, I am reading it. Debentures were redeemed at 10% premium. Redemption of debenture. Let us prepare a working note for this item. Working note number 2, redemption of debentures. Over here, redemption has been made at 10% premium, but amount of redemption of debenture has not been given. So how to decide it? Once again, let us verify the debentures ledger account like we did for the equity share capital account in the context of right issue amount. Same way, let us verify the debentures account to decide the amount of redemption that has been made in the current year. Have a look on the two balances. Opening balance, it is 1,20,000, while closing balance is 1,08,000. It means during the current year, 12,000 worth of debentures have been redeemed with 10% premium. So let us go for working note. Once again, 12,000 worth of debentures with 10% premium. 10% of 12,000 is rupees 1,200. So total amount paid to debenture holders is 13,200. Journal entry. Number 1, debentures account debited rupees 12,000. Redemption premium into bracket over here in the balance sheet, the word that has been used is loss on redemption reserve. account debit 1200 to debenture holders account credited 13,200. Second journal entry for the payment. Debenture holders account debited to bank account credited. Let us give the posting of these two transactions related with debenture redemption. Debentures account debit 12,000. This is the posting. Redemption premium, or the word that has been used over here, debited 1200 to debenture holders account credited rupees 13,200. Have a look. The debenture holders account posting of the 13,200, opposite narration, opposite amount, by debenture account 12,000, by redemption premiums account 1200, total is 13,200. Then the posting of second journal entry, debenture holders account debited to bank account credited 13,200. Now, if we close these three ledger accounts related with the redemption of debenture. First one, debentures account. Nothing is there as far as the balancing figure is concerned. It's over. 120, 120. Redemption premium or loss on redemption reserve. If you close it, total of debit side 1200, put it on the credit side 1200, and now you are getting a balancing figure of rupees 200 as a balancing figure, because there is a closing balance of rupees 1000. What does it mean? It means during the current year, out of this 1200, the redemption premium paid on the redemption of debenture, company has already written off rupees 200 to profit and loss account. So in the third journal entry, profit and loss account debit to redemption premium or loss on redemption reserve account credit 200. So by applying the concept of amortization, company has already written off rupees 200 to profit and loss account. So we close the two ledger accounts. And the third one, debenture holders account. Have a look. 13,200, 13,200. It's over. No balancing figure over here. 13,200. Now fund flow impact. In this account, see the debit side, 13,200 paid to debenture holders. Narration bank. So it indicates the application of fund. Let us report it in the fund flow statement. Rupees 13,200 paid to debenture holders for the redemption of debenture. See the application side. This is the amount redemption of debentures. 12,000 plus 1200 premium, total 13,200. So it indicates the application of fund. Third ledger account that we closed was redemption premium. Over here, the amount that has been written off, rupees 200, to profit and loss account. See the nature of this transaction. By debiting it to the profit and loss account, company has reduced the profit of the current year. But neither it is a cash transaction nor it is an operating transaction. So neither cash means non-cash nor operating means non-operating. So if transaction by nature is a non-cash or non-operating, then you have to adjust it in the current year's profit once again by giving the reverse impact. Why? Because we need only fund cash profit generated from business operating transactions. While this one is a non-cash transaction, this one is a non-operating transaction also. And that is why it should be adjusted by giving the reverse impact in the current year's profit. So let us report it in the adjusted profit and loss account by giving the reverse impact. Reverse means whatever company has done by recording this transaction in the profit and loss account, you have to reverse it. So by debiting it to the profit and loss account, company had reduced the profit of the year, but it was a non-cash and a non-operating transaction. So let us give the reverse impact. Let us increase the profit of the year once again. So we are reporting this 200 on the left hand side or plus side of the adjusted profit and loss account, redemption premium on debentures written off. So three ledger accounts related with this transaction. We prepared three ledger accounts with working note. We closed the three ledger accounts. Impact one in the fund flow statement, amount of redemption of debenture, and one impact came in adjusted profit and loss account, that is for rupees 200 redemption premium on debentures written off. Let us go for the additional information once again to proceed for the next item. Point number 3, I am reading it. Machinery. See the third item. Machinery of rupees 7,200 at cost price was written off on the last date of the year, being obsolete. Accumulated depreciation was rupees 5,000 on obsolete machinery. Remaining loss was debited to profit and loss account. See the balance sheet. Very first item of the asset side. Machinery at cost. The word is at cost. And on the liability side, balance of depreciation fund has been given, machinery depreciation fund. So over here, company do follows the depreciation fund system, and that is why the machinery has been shown at its original cost. Let me tell you how the depreciation fund system is working. You know, there are three main characteristics of this system. Number one, under the depreciation fund system, assets are always shown at its original cost. Number two, depreciation of every year, though, would be debited to profit and loss account as it is, but the credit would be given to depreciation fund account, not to the fixed assets account, because fixed assets are to be shown at its original cost, and that is why depreciation of every year would be debited to profit and loss account, but the credit would be given to depreciation fund account. And the third characteristics, Whenever transactions happens like selling of asset or discardment of asset, like it is here in this particular case, one machinery has been discarded. So whenever transactions happens in that particular year, the total accumulated depreciation of that particular fixed asset, whatever it is, would have been included in the opening balance of depreciation fund. Now, we have to take that amount from the opening balance by debiting depreciation fund account and crediting to that particular fixed assets account. So these are the main three characteristics of the depreciation fund system that you have to remember, because this system may come in so many questions later on. Okay, let us prepare a working note for this item. Working note number 3, machinery. Original cost price of machinery which has been written off in the current year, rupees 7,200. Total accumulated depreciation so far, rupees 5,000, as given in that additional information point number 3, rupees 5,000. That gives the written down value in the current year, rupees 2,200, versus there is no sales value, no scrap value, which is nil. So entire amount of this written down value we have to write off to the profit and loss account. Instruction has also been given in the question, point number 3, that remaining loss was debited to profit and loss account. So amount to be debited, to be written off to profit and loss account, 2,200. Let us pass the journal entry. Number 1, depreciation fund account debited rupees 5,000. Now we are taking out the total amount of depreciation of this machine which has been discarded in the current year, which was there in the opening balance of depreciation fund. Now we are taking out rupees 5,000 from the opening balance of depreciation fund. So depreciation fund account debited rupees 5,000. Loss, profit and loss account debited rupees 2,200. To machinery account credited its original cost 7,200. Let us give the posting impact of this journal entry. Have a look on this slide. Machinery account and depreciation fund account. See, depreciation fund account debited rupees 5,000. Profit and loss account debited 2,200. To machinery account credited 7,200. Opposite narration and amount total is 7,200. So this was the posting impact of the journal entry. Depreciation fund account debit 5,000. Profit and loss account debited 2,200. To machinery account credited 7,200. Opposite narration and amount. Let us close these two ledger account. Machinery account first. Credit side looks bigger. Total 3,36,400. Put the same total on the debit side. You will get a balancing figure of rupees 60,000 on the debit side. Apply the common accounting sense. Imagine what it could be. It must be the purchases made during the current year, for which the journal entry that would have been passed is machinery account debit to bank account credit. Now close the depreciation fund account. debit side looks bigger, 1,34,400. Put it on the credit side and you will get a balancing figure of rupees 42,800. What it could be? Common accounting knowledge, common accounting sense applied. It must be the current year's depreciation on the remaining closing balance of the fixed asset which is there in the machinery account. See the closing balance 3,20,29,200. So this is the current year's depreciation provided. The journal entry, profit and loss account debited to depreciation fund account credited. See how we have reported those two journal entry over here. First, we already reported. Now second, current year's depreciation profit and loss account debit to depreciation fund account credit 42,800, and the third one is for the purchases made during the year machinery account debit to bank account credit 60,000. So three journal entries for the transaction of machinery. Now fund flow impact. Have a look on machinery account first. $60,000 purchases of machinery. Obviously it affects the fund flow. This is the 60,000 machinery account debit to bank account credit 60,000 in the fund flow statement. Let us report it as an application of fund rupees 60,000. See, purchases of machinery 60,000. Once again, let us verify ledger account. In this machinery account, one another transaction is also there, having a narration profit and loss account 2,200. Company has written off the remaining amount of rupees 2,200 to profit and loss account. But the nature of this transaction is a non-cash. It is a non-operating. It is not your daily transaction. So being a non-cash and a non-operating item, this 2,200 should be added back in the current year's profit. As well as this current year's depreciation 42,800. It is also a non-cash item. You know the nature of depreciation. So both this item having the narration of profit and loss account will be added back in the adjusted profit and loss account. Have a look. Machinery written off 2,200, then depreciation 42,800. So we reported these two items which by nature were either non-cash or non-operating. So we gave the reverse impact in the adjusted profit and loss account. So this was the transaction related with machinery. Let us go to the next point. Point number 4 of additional information. Taxes paid rupees 12,000. So this one is related with income tax payment. See this taxation provision account. Income tax paid rupees 12,000. Working note of this income tax provision account. Have a look. Journal entry number 1. Tax provision account debited to bank account credited 12,000. And then closing balance which was there in that account. Let us verify that account first and then we will think about the second journal entry. Have a look in the income tax provision account. Posting of journal entry, tax provision account debit to bank account credit. Close the account. Debit side looks bigger, 24,000. Put it on the credit side, 24,000. That gives the balancing figure on the credit side, 14,000. It is nothing but the current year's provision for which the journal entry would be profit and loss account debit to income tax provision account credit. So two transactions are there. One is payment 12,000. Another is the current year's provision 14,000. Let us think the fund flow impact. Bank 12,000. You know, this transaction bank 12,000. It is related with the fund flow, while this one 14,000 having a narration profit and loss related with adjusted profit and loss account. Let us report it in the fund flow statement and then in adjusted profit and loss account respectively. 12,000 rupees income tax paid. See, this is the tax paid rupees 12,000 as an application of fund on the application side. While current year's tax provision 14,000 as a non-cash item should be added back in the current year's profit. So left hand side or plus side of adjusted profit and loss account income tax provision 14,000. So as a non-cash item, we added back it in the current year's profit by reporting it on the left hand side or plus side of adjusted profit and loss account. Let us verify the additional information once again for the remaining point of the question. Only last point is there. Point number 5. I am reading it. Investments are sold at a profit of 20% on its selling price. Investment are sold at a profit of rupees 20,000. Let us verify the balance sheet. What is the position of investment? See the asset side. Opening balance 20,000 versus no closing balance in 18. It means entire amount of investment has been sold in the current year with a profit of 20% on its sale proceeds. Let us prepare a working note. Have a look on the slide. Working note number 5. Sale of investment. Let us assume that the selling price was rupees 100. Profit at the rate of 20% on sale proceeds. Selling price 20% of 100 is 20 rupees. That gives the cost 80. Apply the equation. If cost is 80, profit is 20. If cost is 20,000, what would be the profit? Profit amount would be 5,000. So we got the total selling price. Cost 20, profit 5, selling price 25,000. Let us pass journal entry. Bank account debited rupees 25,000 to investment account credited 25,000. So we reported a total selling price of rupees 25,000 including profit. So obviously we need to eliminate the impact of profit which is included in the selling price 25,000. So second J for transfer of profit, investment account debit to bank to profit and loss account credit. Let us verify the investment account. Have a look on the slide. Investment account. Opening balance 20,000. No closing balance. Posting of first journal entry. Bank debit to investment account credit 25,000. Cost was 20,000, but it has been sold with a profit of 5,000. So we credited 25,000, and then the posting of second journal entry, effect of profit, investment account debited to profit and loss account credited, transfer of profit. Account is over. 25, 25. Fund flow impact. Bank debit to investment credit, sale of investment, it indicates receipt or sources of fund. So this will be reported in the fund flow statement, while over here title came profit and loss. Company has credited this profit to profit and loss account, which by nature is a non-cash item, non-operating item. It is a cash item, profit has been received in cash, but the nature is non-operating. This type of transaction happens once in a year. So being a non-operating item, it should be adjusted in the current year's profit by giving the reverse impact. Let us give the impact in the fund flow statement first. Selling of investment 25,000, it indicates sources or receipt of fund 25,000. Then adjusted profit and loss account for the impact of that profit. See on the right hand side or minus side, profit on sale of investment. We gave the reverse impact. We eliminated that profit of rupees 5,000, which was included in the current year's profit, but the nature was a non-operating income, and we need only profit generated or received from operations, from operating transactions. So that is why it should be deducted from the current year's profit in which it was included. So these were the transactions related with additional information. Now let us verify the balance sheet for the remaining items. Come on the asset side one by one. Let us verify it. Machinery over. Second item, goodwill. Opening balance 50,000, closing balance nil. What does it mean? It means during the current year, company has already written off this goodwill by debiting it to the profit and loss account. Journal entry that would have been recorded profit and loss account debit to goodwill account credit. But by nature, it is a non-cash item. It is a non-operating item. So let us give the reverse impact by adding back in the current year's profit. Goodwill written off 50,000. Let us continue the reading of the balance sheet once again. After that item, cash, investment already over, cash, bank, debtors, prepaid expenses, stock, bills receivable, item of current assets. We already reported it in the working capital schedule. Loss on redemption reserve over, it was related with debenture redemption. We already done it. Now debenture discount. See, opening balance 5,000 and the closing balance is 3,000. It means during the current year, company has written off rupees 2,000 worth of debenture discount to the profit and loss account. But by nature, it's a non-cash item. So add back it in the current year's profit once again because the nature was a non-cash. So see the debenture discount return of rupees 2,000. Just by applying the concept of amortization, company has written off a little bit amount of this fictitious assets, namely debenture discount. So concept of amortization was applied. It was not a real cash transaction. So being a non-cash transaction, we adjusted it once again in the current year's profit by adding back it on the left hand side. Last item on the asset side. Issue expenditure on right sides. See, last year, that is 2017, nil balance, and in the current year closing balance 10,000. What does it mean? इसका मतलब क्या होगा? It means this expenditure would have been done in the current year, because in the current year, as per additional information item number 1, company has made a right issue. So in the context of that right issue, this is the expenditure that has been incurred in the current year. So 7th working note, right issue expenditure. See the journal entry. Right issue expenditure account debit to bank account credit. If we prepare the ledger account for this account, it will appear like this. Have a look. Issue expenditure on right side. No opening balance. Closing balance 10,000. That is due to expenditure incurred in the current year. As we noted the journal entry, right issue expenditure account debit to bank account credit, and that is why closing balance is there 10,000. So an expenditure has been incurred, title came bank, so obviously it indicates the application of fund. So let us report it in the fund flow statement. Right issue expenditure 10,000 application of fund. After asset side, let us verify the liability side of the balance sheet for the remaining items. One by one. Equity share capital already over. Security premium over. Debentures over. Machinery depreciation fund over. Bad debt reserve over. Profit and loss account balance over. Bank overdraft. Creditors. Bills payable we reported in the working capital schedule. Tax provision already over. But the item left is proposed dividend 10,000 and 8,000. You know proposed dividend. Let me show the working note for the proposed dividend. You know, last year's proposed dividend always would have been paid in the current year. And the current year's proposed dividend will be paid in the next year. It is the provisions of the Companies Act. Board of Directors can only propose for the final proposed dividend. It cannot pay it until and unless it receives the consents of the shareholders. But consent can be possible only in the annual general meeting, which normally happens in the next year in the month of July, August, September. So on 31st March, only board can put a proposal. It cannot pay it until and unless it receives the consents. But the last year's proposed dividend, after receiving the consents in the AGM, obviously would have been paid in the current year. So always you have to be careful about this item. If there is an instruction in the additional information, you have to implement it. But if the question is silent, additional information is silent, then even though you have to implement this two line that last year's proposed dividend would have been paid in the current year and the current year's proposed dividend will be paid in the next year. So let us pass the journal entry for the last year's proposed dividend. Entry number 1, for the payment of last year's proposed dividend, balance was 8,000. Proposed dividend account debited to bank account credited 8,000. Then the 10,000 closing balance, which is the current year's proposal. Journal entry, profit and loss appropriation account debit to proposed dividend account credit 10,000. Let us give the posting impact in the proposed dividend account. Have a look on this slide. Proposed dividend account, opening balance 8,000, balance of last year's proposal, closing balance 10,000, current year's proposal. First journal entry, proposed dividend account debit to bank account credit, paid for the proposed dividend of the last year and the current year's proposal. Profit and loss appropriation account debit to proposed dividend account credit. Fund flow impact. You paid 8,000 in the current year. It indicates the application of fund, while over here profit and loss appropriation debit to proposed dividend credit 10,000. It's a non-cash item. It's a non-operating item. So it should be added back in the current year's profit by giving the reverse impact in the adjusted profit and loss account. So first, let us report 8,000 as an application of fund in the fund flow statement. Have a look. Payment of dividend 8,000. Application of fund. Then 10,000 being a non-cash item, it should be added back in the current year's profit by giving the reverse impact. Proposed final dividend 10,000. So we added back in the current year's profit once again by giving the reverse impact. So this was the impact of proposed dividend. So balance sheet reading over. We completed all the items. Now only two accounts are there which you have to close. First, close this adjusted profit and loss account. Total of debit side, left hand side, or you may say plus side, looks bigger. It is 1,65,200. Put it on the right hand side or minus side and find out the balancing figure, which is adjusted profit 52,200. So you are getting a balancing figure, which is the adjusted profit, operating cash profit, fund profit generated from business operation, which would be the sources or receipt of fund from the viewpoint of fund flow statement. So let us report that item in the fund flow statement. Rupees 52,200 on the sources side. See, fund from business operation 52,200. Now close this fund flow statement. Total must get tallied, and the total of this fund flow statement would be 1,65,200. 1,65,200. So total does get tallied of both the side. 1,65,200, 1,65,200. So have a look from the first slide, balance sheet, then additional information, then working capital schedule, then adjusted profit and loss account, then fund flow statement. Total get confirmed, tallied 1,65,200. Necessary ledger accounts. Once again another 4 ledger accounts, another 3 ledger accounts, and then necessary working notes and journal entries. One by one we prepared the working note and journal entries for additional information items. And now let me say thank you very much for your peaceful listening for my explanation. Let me hope that your understanding your digestion would be very clear about this first question of the fund flow statement. If necessary, listen it once again with working note in journal entries, then verify the ledger accounts for the positioning impact, and then go for the effect of fund flow statement or adjusted profit and loss account. Once you complete the additional information points, then verify the balance sheet for the remaining items, give the impact, and then in the last leg, close the adjusted profit and loss account and report the adjusted profit in the fund flow statement and make the total of fund flow statement. It must get tallied. It must get confirmed for both the sides. Hope everything would be very clear in your mind. Thank you very much.